Jeez, you just keep laughing and laughing.
How can I not? I'm now the Overlord. That means that I'm the most eminent demon in all of the Netherworld.
I am aware of that. But ever since you've become the Overlord, you have done nothing but laugh.
You don't understand a thing. Laughing is a very important aspect of being the Overlord. Besides, there isn't any urgent matter that's suitable for my first act as King Laharl the Terrible.
Oh, Prince.
I got a job for you. Call me Your Highness. I'm the Overlord now.
Oh, come on. That's a minor detail.
Minor detail? So, what kind of job is it? You want me to make it rain pepper on Earth so they can't stop sneezing? Or do you want me to give human kids an addictive video game that will deprive them of their sleep?
No. Come in, Aramis.
Who's this kid?
Don't call me a kid. You're more of a kid yourself.
What? Who the hell do you think I am?
Now, he is just a child. Shut up, Black Chest. What did you say, you? I mustn't. At times like this, love is the answer. With love, there is understanding.
Hey, does she have a few screws loose or something?
Huh, you got some attitude, kid.
Just like you, Prince.
Yeah, right. So, what's he got to do with the job?
Oh, yeah. His pets are missing.
Huh?
And your job's to look for them.
Why would I, the Overlord, look for some stupid little brat's pets? Ridiculous! Absolutely ridiculous! Bring me something more fitting for my first task as Overlord!
I refuse. It may seem ridiculous to you, but it's important to him. This is a perfect way to begin your role as Overlord. And if you don't do it, I'm never gonna accept you as the Overlord.
What are you getting so mad for? It's not like you.
Answer me. Will you do it or not?
Ugh. Fine, I'll do it, Good.
And you better not slack off.
Ugh. Why am I, the Overlord of the Netherworld, taking orders from this annoying brat? Episode 7 of Being an Overlord.
Welcome back to Let's Play Disgaea, Hour of Darkness. Laharl has finally gotten to be the Overlord, and he's getting into the whole supervillain routine. But now it's time for his first job. Locate Aramis's pets. Well, gotta start somewhere. Demons are so weird. But, it seemed pretty important to Etna. I wonder, why she cared so much about it. Maybe it was something that King Krachevskoy would do, and she wanted to see if Laharl would do it or not. Oh well, I'm sure her reasons will become apparent later. Everyone's having a hard time swallowing the fact that Laharl's the Overlord. Not because they dislike him or anything, it's just King Krachevskoy was a great Overlord. Lord of Terror, you say? Wonder how strong you'd have to have that much of a reputation. His levels had to be in the thousands. Well, let's check out Etna's secret chamber. New chapter, so there'll be a new entry.
Prince, I'm going to the bathroom, okay?
Let's see, eternal loyalty. What you got to say this time, Etna? So it seems like Etna didn't have any family of her own and felt some sort of kinship with King Kortevskoy. Well, learning a little bit about her backstory. What you got to say, zombie? Zombies? Well, we'll check that out in a bit. First, I want to go to the assembly. And, yeah, let's check out the next promotion exam. Ooh, that could be pretty tough. I don't know if I'm strong enough to actually take that on yet. Well, if I fail, I can just restart the video. Okay. These guys aren't too bad. As long as I take them on one at a time, Laharl should be able to take them. The reason I'm taking these guys on is because I'm hoping to unlock a very specific build that'll help me out in the near future. Oh yeah, Laharl's more than ready to take these guys. I guess they must not have any equipment. Let me check that out. Yeah. One thing that makes the game a little easier is that monster units and levels tend to not have equipment. They make up for this by generally having higher stats than monsters at their level would have, but the lack of equipment, which really is a big thing that helps with your stats, kind of hurts them. I mean, it's not as big a deal in this game, where equipment isn't as much of a deciding factor, but it still noticeably hinders them. Still, I'm surprised Laharl didn't take any damage from that first strike. This goes to show how awesome he is. Alright, so let's just take this guy out. As the promotion exams, you unlock the next levels. From this point on, the spike in enemy strength is going to scale to be much higher and higher. Like, we'll check out the next one, and you'll see, like, the enemies we have to fight in the next promotion exam will be significantly more powerful than those guys. Yeah, so each one you complete, the enemies take, like, an even bigger jump in strength. But let's see. Okay, triple experience. First enemy you defeat gives you 3 times as much experience. That's a nice one. Bonus gauge boost fills up the bonus gauge about halfway. It has a few uses. If you're using this build called Prinny Day. What Prinny Day does is it makes it so you can only deploy Prinnies, but the items in the item bonus list will all be rare or legendary items. And you won't get, like, experience or money or anything, it'll just be items. Typically, equipment. And improved movement. Well, it just does exactly what it says. It improves your movement by 1 space. Thing about these improvement improvement topics, I guess, is that once you complete them, when you transmigrate your character, it resets them, so you'd have to do them all over again. So generally they're not worth investing in until you have a maxed out character, unless the boost helps you out in some specific way. You know what, there was actually one other thing I wanted to look at. Sorry, I didn't mean to leave there. Just want to go look at the zombie real quick. As you notice, this is a zombie. It's got good HP, decent attack, pretty much garbage everything else. Probably one of the last monster types you'd ever want to create. So, yeah, zombie's pretty lame. I just wanted to say that. This is a good example of why monsters are pretty bad. You know, just very poor stats and limited abilities. A lot of zombies at Salamander Breath. Well, if his pet was, that ends this mission pretty quickly. But let's go check it out. Alright, so we've got zombies. This is why I checked out the zombies at the character creation. These zombies are the only enemy type we are going to be fighting this entire chapter. Every single map, the only enemy is zombies. What's more, this is a fire-themed area, so all of them are weak to ice. This is far and away one of the easiest chapters in the game. But that brings us to the second thing that you've probably just noticed. The entire field is covered with an experience plus 100% effect and a hell plus 50% effect. So for a long time, this is going to be one of the best training maps you'll have, as well as one that'll take care of pretty much any money issues you have if you play it. So this is going to be a fun time. Now, I'm not going to be using this for my main characters to keep them all, you know, relatively balanced with the story of the game, but I will be going here frequently with the characters that I use for the item world to get arms masters, because this will, A, let me keep up with the newer levels of product rank, and B, allow me to get tons of money so that I can actually afford all the stuff I want to buy. However, one thing I do have to keep in mind is that I'm pretty underleveled for most of my characters, so these zombies can still mess me up if I'm not careful, even if their stats are really poor. I apologize if you hear drum beats in the background, my brother is practicing right now. Let's have Helena take these guys out since they're fairly weak and she should be able to handle it. So yeah, this is a pretty nice map for catching your characters up if you so desire. And Etna, can she make it? I'll need someone to throw her. And I'll have Lucille do it. That should do. Okay. Would have liked to have been able to get a Braveheart off, but that's not a big deal. The nice thing about this map is also that the zombies are arranged in a nice pattern that's easy to hit them with area of effect attacks. Guts is also gonna have an easy time here because Tri-Burst is Ice Elemental, so he can exploit that weakness. Another thing I could do is weaken up some of these guys with Dark Cannon so that my characters can have an easier time taking them down, but it's not necessary. And honestly, the way they're all grouped up, it might make it difficult to hit some of them without hitting others. Or rather, you can't shoot through things with Dark Cannon, as I demonstrated in the last video, so that would be something that I'd have to worry about. Now, while zombies aren't particularly strong, they do have this attack, Zombie Twister. This one's really annoying. Basically, it's like Blade Rush, but it moves their position. On the bright side, the AI doesn't really care if they can actually complete the action for it or not, and they tend to cancel it out on themselves. Spike. Your evasion comes through again. idea. Laharl soften this guy up a bit, and then Flan can just nail them both with Mega Ice. Unfortunately, while these guys are pretty weak monsters, I'm simply not strong enough to take them out in one hit, so that's why I didn't have Flan hit the cross-shape pattern to start off the fight. Alright. So yeah, get used to seeing a lot of these zombies, because these are the only things you're going to see in this chapter. This also makes this one of the easiest chapters in the game, just because you can hit all the enemies with the same attacks, hit them for extra damage, and they themselves can't really do too much to you. May as well have Medeiros come on out. We can do that, and a Sky Lunge. Hopefully this does it. I mean, honestly, it's not like Etna really has bad stats, it's just spears are so weak in this game. They have low attack power, and their skills have low damage relative to your basic attack. It's kind of annoying. One thing that's nice is that these guys will constantly zombie twister into their own allies and hurt them, so that helps you out a bit. Alright, what's this guy? Normal? Normal. There we go. Trying to have Laharl just do some softening work rather than hogging up any of these kills himself. In particular, I'm getting Flaw on some of these kills because it'll make later fights easier if she can nail the toughest enemies with Mega Ice. I think I'm also going to have my Item World mages do quite a bit of work here to get them the next level of spells. And Skull Splitter, Sky Lunge. Probably gonna need to take a couple more turns to take out the rest of these guys. As you can see though, Fu is doing a ton of damage. The strength Ronians gain when they level is just ridiculous due to their high base stat. And that 120 aptitude really goes well with axes. Or 120, 110. 120 aptitudes are something you don't see until much later in this game. Honestly, I find the more subdued mechanics, relatively speaking anyway, compared to later games in the series, I find the more subdued mechanics of this game to make the main story a lot more interesting, as well as allowing to maintain a bit more strategy in the post-game. One thing I don't like about the future Disgaea games is that the post-game basically boils down into making just a really strong character who can one-shot everything. Which, I mean, it's a little entertaining on its own, but I don't know, I kind of like being continuously challenged by a game. Does this guy have the... no. Yeah, it was a... I know there was at least one guy who had the half damage bug. Must have taken him out early. But yeah, look at that money. That is way better than what we've been getting. Like, I usually only get money that's even close to that on boss stages. So, very useful map. And I'll be visiting a lot in between videos. Let's do one more map for today. Okay, Column of Fire. Aha, I called it. She wants him to be more like Krzyzewski. Well, time to do my little trick that I discovered. Taking out that null panel will be nice because it'll do a chain reaction that'll soften these guys up for me. Okay, then we'll just... Probably should nail that guy a bit since he's the strongest. Yep. And that's the maximum range for the thing. Yeah, whenever you see tiles like enemy boost, you really want to take those out because they can cause some serious problems for you. And I don't know if we've ever actually seen this, but whenever you clear off all the geo panels in a map with a null panel, it creates an explosion that damages all enemies. Alright, time to utilize the cross-shape pattern. As you can see, the area of effect that spells are starting to hit is getting quite large, and it only gets bigger from here on out. Let's see. How do I want to go about this? I'll have Spike do something first. Ah. Fu, you can take one of these kills. Oh. Well, at least that's some guy who's softened up for Helena. There we go. And that should free up the area for Spike to use Lion's Roar. And no one's in the way, right? Yep. Although nobody's damaged at this point, so it's probably not something I'd have to worry about, anyone getting killed by it. But I still like to make sure... It's a good habit to make sure nobody's in the way of your attacks, just because you really don't want to accidentally get any ally kills. And Etna can do Asteroid Drop, if I can find a place to drop it. Oh no. Oh no, right there. Same place Lion's Roar would have put off Spike if I could have done it over there. Oh, that's one resilient zombie. Oh, this allows Laharl to show off a bit, I would hope. Let's see, Silverlord's Wrath. Ah. From over here. Yes, it does. Probably should have Bravehearted him, but not a big deal. Still does really good damage. And do I have a sword in my inventory? No, I do not. I'll just keep Lucille in the base panel. Don't want her to get taken out. The cannon tried to shoot Etna, but the terrain was in the way. So if the AI can, it'll try to take out neutral NPCs. Generally it does this because that's how enemies in the, or specialists in the item world rather, are flagged. And sometimes it'll take precedence over that, over your own allies, even if it's not the most sensible thing to do. And it was particularly famous in Disgaea 2 that if there was ever a treasure chest on the map which was flagged as a neutral NPC, the enemy AI would always prioritize attacking those, regardless of how much sense it actually made to do so. So it could be something of a good exploit when you were traversing the item world and there were treasure chests everywhere, and you just trick enemies into attacking those and be on your merry way. And now we just got one super zombie left. I don't think these guys have any... Nope. But I think I'm going to start building up my thief, because the end of this chapter, there is actually some stuff that I want to steal. Some unique stuff that you can't get anywhere else in the game. Alright, we'll just do it. If not, Laharl can be the one to save the day. Just barely, too. Yeah, 3 hit points. Let's see if I can get Spike over there. He really needs the experience. Oh, he already took his action. Never mind. Guess Laharl has to be the Glory Hog here. There we go. And a nice 500 experience. And the stuff that I'm getting from the bonus rewards is starting to become decent. But I think that's enough for now. But between this video and the next, I'm probably going to be doing some work in that map in order to build up my characters I use for the item world. And I'll likely also build up another Arms Master. This time though, since I'll have an easier time and the levels of Arm Masters are rising, and I can get more money so I can increase the product rank, I'll probably like get one up to level 200 and combine it with my existing one. So yeah, that's something that I'm gonna work on. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I'll see you next time. Until then, have a nice day. Just wait for the thing to ding. Alright, we're done.